Hello, my name is Kenneth Chow or Man Chow. You can call me Man Chow or Kenneth Chow. This is my quantum gravity video 21. This video follows from my video 19, which is theoretical proof of the existence of Planck black hole. Thus, the numbering of the equation in this video follows the numbering in my video 19. Equation 2 of my video 19 was E stands for elementary charge, 1.6202 times 10 to the power 19 Coulomb is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times Planck length times alpha, the fine structure constant, which I first in this equation, I refer to this equation 2 of my video 19, E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times Planck length times alpha, which was first derived by me from the standard international unit equation 1 Coulomb is equal to 1 joule divided by 1 volt. In this was in video 1 of this series. The video 1 of this series was taken by me in 2018, 6 years ago. This equation is undoubtedly correct, as you can verify by substituting alpha is equal to mu naught E squared C divided by 2h. This alpha is equal to mu naught E squared C divided by 2h was I explained in my video 19. Is from a table published jointly by the Royal Society of the Institute of Physics and the Royal Society of Chemistry. So it's a correct one. Alpha is equal to the fine structure constant is equal to mu naught E squared C divided by 2h. It's undoubtedly correct. And from equation 1 of my video, that is h bar is equal to Planck mass, Planck length times Planck length times c, light speed in vacuum, and as explained in my video 19 and more elaborately in my video 14. But what is the meaning of equation 2, including what is E squared? Is it moment of inertia or a torque? And why multiply by 10? After repeated trials and errors, it took me several months. I finally got the answer. Equation 2 comes from E squared divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, which is epsilon naught stands for 4, permittivity of electric permittivity in vacuum, and times the Planck length times alpha. Alpha, again, as I explained, as fine structure constant. This one is equal to the mass, the Planck mass multiplied by c squared, which I now call it equation 7 of this video, because it follows from my video 19. The last equation in my video 19 is equation 6. So now this is equation 7. I hope you can see it clearly. From this equation 7, which I newly discovered, you can have E squared then is equal to, what is this equal to? It's equal to Planck mass times Planck length times alpha times 4 pi epsilon naught, the permittivity of electric permittivity in free space times c squared. What is this? The one in 1 over 4 pi, you have a new figure, 4 pi epsilon naught. This is 1, if 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, this is Coulomb's constant. It's a physical constant. It's equal to 9 times 10 to the power 9 newtons. This unit is newtons meter square per Coulomb square. But what you have now here is not in this equation 7. What you have now is not 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, but instead you have 4 pi epsilon naught. That is the reciprocal, exactly the reciprocal of the Coulomb's constant. So what you have should be the reciprocal of the value of 9 times 10 to the power 9 is 1 over 9 times 10 to the power 9. Right? And so you have 4 pi epsilon naught times c squared in this equation 7. And what does that mean? It means the c squared is 9 times 10 to the power 16 meter square per second square. So you have what you have is this. 9 times 10 to the power 16 divided by 9 times 10 to the power 9 is to 10 to the power 7. That's exactly what we got in equation 2. This equation is the origin of equation 2. I finally got it after several months trial and error. I have demonstrated in my video 13 that equation 2 E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times 10 length times alpha is not limited to Planck mass and Planck length, but is applicable to other particles. Or particles is just de Broglie matter waves. Other particles include electron, proton, top quark, bottom quark, whatever. W boson, W plus boson, is not boson, etc. String quark, charm quarks, etc. Thus, this equation 7 is also generally applicable to all the known particles. That is, if instead of Planck mass and Planck length, you just substitute the wavelengths and the mass of the individual particle into equation 7, then it's also, you got this equation correct. Equation 7 is correct. That's balance on both sides. And how can you get the wavelength of the particle? the wavelength of particle can be readily computed from equation 1. The equation 1 of my video 19 is to say h bar is equal to mass times length times c is light speed in vacuum. And in this equation, the only unknown will be the mass and the length. And the mass is usually the mass of a particle, referring to mass of particle, is usually measured experimentally in a synchrotron. So you get that mass from measure experimentally, and then you substitute into this equation 1, you get R. R is the wavelength of the particle. For example, we have proton. For proton, you have let you see this. E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught is following equation 7. 4 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught divided by 0.21 times 10 to the power 15. This is the Compton wavelength of the proton. It's again from the table of the Royal Society of Chemistry and Institute of Physics, jointly published by these 3 organizations. Is equal to 1.6726 times 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. This is the rest mass of the proton. Again, it's from that table, the same table. Multiplied by c, and on both sides of the equation equal to 1.5053 times 10 to the power minus 10 joules. I let you see this equation. So both sides are also balanced. If you substitute the wavelength and in this case it's the Compton wavelength, and I'll show you another example also from that table, the values. For the electrons, it's E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, that's again following from equation 7, divided by 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13 meter. This is again from the Compton wavelength of electron from that table, and divided by alpha, the fine structure constant. And usually the value of the fine structure constant is either 1 divided by 137.036 or 7.297 times 10 to the power minus 3. This is the value of the fine structure constant, the numerical value. The algebraic value is of course mu naught, as I mentioned earlier, mu naught E squared C divided by 2H. And this is equal to 9.109 times 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram. This is again the rest mass of electron from that table again, times C square, and both sides are then equal to 8.194 times 10 to the power minus 14 joules. And I'd like to see one more example. This one is top quark. I've used the top quark, but this, because this will have not a table. The table does not include this top quark. I have just found out from other books. And I found out this from a book called Fundamentals of Physics, 2001 edition by David Halliday and others. And it is the mass of the top quark was stated to be 175,000 mega electron volts, billion electron volts, let's say. And that's transformed it, converted it to kilogram. It is 3.168 times 10 to the power minus 25 kilogram. And from that, I follow using equation 1 of video 19, that's h bar is equal to m out c. I got it, its wavelength is 1.11 times 10 to the power minus 18 meters. And from that equation, I got both sides of this equation are equal to 2.851 times 10 to the power minus 8 joules. I let you see the equation. Now, I haven't shown you these examples of this how equation 7 works for particles. Then, what is the meaning of equation 7? In words, it means the rest mass potential energy of a particle is equal to the electromagnetic potential energy of two elementary charges. Elementary charges E is 1.602 times 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. Separated by a distance, the two charges separated by distance equal to the wavelength of the particle, which is taken to be the radius of the particle. A particle is now, in this case, again, a de Broglie matter wave. Otherwise, you won't have a wavelength. Right? Reckoned from the singularity of the Planck black hole. The Planck black hole is mentioned in video 19. The Planck black hole at the center of a hydrogen atom. I'll let you see a synoptic diagram of this. Equation 7 is a direct proof that the electromagnetic force or interaction is one and the same force interaction as the strong nuclear force interaction. In the same way as the electromagnetic force interaction is one and the same force or interaction as gravitational force interaction, which I demonstrated in my video 5 and video 13 of this series. And in video 13 of this series, I also demonstrated how gravity appears to be 10 to the power minus 59 times weaker than a strong nuclear force or interaction. And I also demonstrated in video 14 of the series how electromagnetic force appears to be 1 over 137.036 or 7.297 times 10 to the power minus 3 times weaker. This is these two figures which I mentioned are the numerical values of the fine structure constant alpha, weaker than the strong nuclear force. Now, by deduction, since equation 2, which I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video, that's E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times Planck length times alpha is undoubtedly correct. Why undoubtedly correct? It's in fact an identity. It's in fact an identity. as it's verifiable as I said, by substituting alpha is mu naught E squared C divided by 2h, and by using the equation 1, h bar is equal to m times r times c, mass times c, length, the pan length times the light speed in vacuum. Then it is you substitute both these values into it, then you get E squared is equal to E squared on both sides. Left side E squared, right side E squared. This identity, of course, this must be equal, absolutely equal. And this equation 2 originates from equation 7, which I just said I've spent months to find out where does this equation 2 comes from, and it came from. I found out that it came from equation 7, which must then also be correct, because if equation 2 is correct and it came from, originated from equation 7, then equation 7 must also be correct. This by deduction. And because the computations pursuant to equation 7, which I demonstrated by 3 examples, in back of the proton, the electron, and the top quark, is based on the specific wavelength of the any known particle being equal to its radius, reckoned. The radius for what? Reckoned from the singularity of Planck black hole at the center of hydrogen atom. This is pursuant to the new hydrogen atom model, which I mentioned in video 19 and previous videos. Many of the previous videos of this series. Therefore, by deduction, the postulations of the new hydrogen atom model and the Planck black hole, which is entailed, must therefore also be correct. This is by deduction. Because otherwise, equation 7 and equation 2 cannot be correct. If they are correct, then it's also the new hydrogen atom model and the Planck black hole must also be correct. And lastly, I would remark that it is quite conceivable that equation 7 can be experimentally proved or falsified, or on the other hand, it can be falsified in the Large Hadron Collider or any other synchrotrons, which can generate particles of mass up to the level of top quark, the heaviest particles now known. The masses of the particles generated may be it W plus boson, W minus boson, or the Z0 boson, the top quark, the bottom quark, the charm quark, the drain quark, etc. They can be then compared with the inputs of the electromagnetic energy, how much energy used to generate these particles. You can done repeatedly, and then you have a statistical result and can reach a conclusion as to whether equation 7 is correct. One thing I've only remarked is that whereas I say the radius is equal to the wavelength of the particle, its conventional usage is to take the 2 pi times the radius as the wavelength instead of just the radius. But in this case, I find it very convenient to take the radius instead of the 2 pi radius. But if the 2 pi radius is used, then the equation 1 of the video 19 will just become h is equal to m times 2 pi r times c, h is equal to 2 pi h bar. And then cancelling the 2 pi on both sides of the equation, it means that h bar is equal to m times r times c. It remains unchanged. So there's nothing changed. It's just the same equation. And another thing I want to mention is that the only wavelength is only specific wavelengths can exist, and not all wavelengths can exist. Not any wavelength can exist, just specific wavelengths. This is unless it can be understood. Now, so I finish this video here, and I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.